Good day folks, Chris checking in for Tradetaxplus. Welcome to the June newsletter. From now onwards we'll also have a tip of the month which you can use to your advantage in your own business. The tip for this month is if you get a delayed refund of VAT, SARS will not pay you interest on that delayed refund unless you ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. That's the principle. You can only ask for interest if you've met a certain criteria. The first one is that return must have been correct that you've submitted. If it is not accurate, then only from the time that you've supplied the accurate information to SARS can you start getting interest. Second requirement is that you will not get interest unless all returns are in place that should have been submitted. So if you are in default of any return, income tax, PAYE, whatever that might be, if you should have submitted returns, they're outstanding, they're showing on your profile as outstanding, you do not get any interest. Now remember, from a VAT perspective, there's 21 days where SARS won't pay you interest, and then thereafter they start paying you interest. Now the question is, when does that 21-day period start running? And the 21 period starts running after the end of each one of these requirements that we've mentioned. In other words, 21 days after I've submitted the correct return, or 21 days after I've submitted information for that correct return, or 21 days after I've submitted all outstanding returns for all taxes, the latest of that. So it is really in your own hands to be able to charge interest or forfeit the interest. The good news is that this is a specific service that Tradetaxplus and Team Consulting offer. We can review those returns, submit them on your behalf, make sure that they are correct, and make sure that if SARS asks for information, they get that information immediately. So the 21-day period is not unnecessarily extended. Keep that in mind, and that's our bit of advertising for today. What have we put on the platform? In June, there's 15 new opinions. Have a look at under what's new. It deals with a whole host of issues, from change in use adjustments to composite supplies to successive supplies and so forth and so on. An interesting topic that you might want to have a look at if you are registered for the diesel rebate scheme is how do you compute the amount of your diesel rebate for this period that the R1.50 discount applied. Remember, government introduced the R1.50 discount, which is now been reduced to 75%, and that's to overcome the massive increases in the petrol price. So what you need to do is you need to adjust your computations to ensure that you disclose the correct amount on the VAT return. So the rate currently reflected on the VAT return is incorrect. You need to adjust your liters. But the opinion on the platform provides you with full detail as to how that should be done. Okay, so that takes us through the new items. It takes us through the tip of the week. The last thing is we have also put a number of court cases, quite a number of court cases on the platform, but we recommend, there's 3 cases that we recommend you to go and read. The one is the Tourvest case, the Rennies case, and then the Capitec case. The Capitec case is important from a technical perspective, so to see if you can identify what were the technical legal grounds on which the opinion or on which the judgment was issued, and are those grounds sound. In other words, what is an enterprise is one of the key issues that's been addressed in this judgment. The other issue is, has the court not overlooked a second supply? They've all looked at the first supply made by the insurance company. Have they not ignored the second supply made by Capitec to its clients? And that's up to you, once you've read that, to come to your own conclusions. Okay guys, remember last time we told you that we've introduced the WhatsApp number. So the next slide will just remind you of what that number is. You can use that number to contact us. You can also use that number to set up a Zoom meeting, in which case we'll telephonically or electronically communicate with you, deal with your issues, and the consultation will then be forwarded to you in terms of a recording of that meeting, which means it could bring significantly down the costs of consulting if you want to do it that way. It of course excludes things where we have to review agreements and provide opinions accordingly. But the run-of-the-mill stuff where you need an answer, you need it quickly, that's the way to go. Use that number. On the next slide, we'll remind you what that number is. And also the consultations can be in any language, Afrikaans or English. We're not that good in the other languages, but for now, any one of those languages is perfect if you want to engage us on that basis. Okay, so that's me, Chris Etteron, checking out on behalf of the Tradetaxplus team. Have a wonderful month ahead. Enjoy your work, enjoy your tax, and be safe. 064 501 8324 064 501 8324